1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Those vegan guys.
I thank you.
Hi, I'm Paul.
I'm Jason.
And together we are
Those Vegan Guys.
How are you? How's your Veganuary going? Is it going well? We hope so. We just thought we'd do another video. We're probably going to try and do one every few days over January to try and kind of help people. So we'll get the stuff over and done with first. If you shop at Sainsbury's, we've been to our local Sainsbury's today in Oldham. A much better Sainsbury's if you live in the northwest is in Ashton. Truth be known, isn't it? I mean, they've even got a Veganuary display
section.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When we went the other day, it was decimated, like completely decimated.
Which is always nice to see.
It's very nice to see, so we didn't even bother filming it. And we've not filmed anything in Sainsbury's today, but we have taken a picture of 3 kind of key sections in Sainsbury's: 2 refrigerated, 1 freezer. You don't need to see pictures of fruit and veg, you know where they are. So that's the main part of a vegan diet when all's said and done. But we will insert the pictures that we took in Sainsbury's. Sure. See? Kind of interesting. What they've got available in there at the moment. We did put a call out on our page before on Facebook. So don't forget, if you're seeing this on YouTube and you're on Facebook, find our page. Those of you vegan guys, give us a like, maybe a share. We also have a group on Facebook called That Vegan Group, or Those Vegan Peeps.
Why do we not know the name of our own group?
I don't know. It's listed on our page anyway. It's linked on our page. And of course, if you're watching this on Facebook and you happen to have a YouTube account, please pop over to our YouTube page and subscribe and like and click that bell down there for notifications.
And just engage with us, because we love it, and we like answering your questions, and we like to try and help people, which is what this is all about, really.
Absolutely. So as you're probably aware, it's 2019 right now. We've been vegan 5 years now, just over 5 years. And of course, one of the questions that we still get asked 5 years into veganism, that kind of comes up often, is, well, if you're vegan, why would you want to eat something that looks and tastes like meat? This is a big question.
That's a common question, isn't it?
Yeah, asked often. So I'm always waffling. Why, Jason, do you personally still eat things that look and taste like meat when you're a vegan? Have you gone daft?
Well,
are you weird?
I suppose there's a few different reasons, but the main one and the consistent one is that I like the taste and the texture without the cruelty. Plain and simple, really. And in our other video the other day, we were talking about the whole vegan sausage roll thing, and
the sausage is a shape.
Yeah.
A sausage is a what? Look down, there's Sausage Town.
No, you've gone to a funny place there,
there's
haven't you?
the river shape. Oh yeah.
No one knows that but you.
They do. Does anybody remember Tickle on the Tongue? From years ago, and the song, it was about a town called Tickle on the River Tom.
Sounds great. Anyway, so I'll carry on explaining the answer to the question. So yeah, well, that's it basically.
Yeah,
it's the taste and the texture without the cruelty. And to be honest, from my perspective, we're quite different, because I grew up not really being a huge fan of meat, dead animals anyway. And wasn't a massive fan, but obviously being vegan now, having the opportunity to be able to have a steak, and it tastes great without any of the cruelty, is amazing.
And if you missed the picture on Facebook, here's what we had for our dinner last night. Now, we had it specifically because we wanted to review the Marks and Spencer's coleslaw. And a steak dinner is the perfect time to have a bit of coleslaw. So as you saw on the plate there, we had oven chips and onion rings done in the oven. We had pan-fried Vivera steak, which never take long in the pan actually, a couple of minutes, like literally.
Yeah.
We had pan-fried mushroom. I had some fried mushrooms, which hubby here doesn't like. And what else did we have?
Onion rings. Did you say that?
I said that. Mushy peas.
Oh yeah.
Mushy peas, which are 15p a tin in Sainsbury's and marked vegan. We've always got them on.
Yeah,
Sainsbury's
they're amazing.
Basics or whatever their brand of, you know, the cheaper end of the market is called.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Other questions that people get asked?
well, Janie has asked this very morning about healthier eating and about trying to lose weight.
Low salt, low calorie,
Low sugar.
low sugar.
Yeah, low sugar, low calorie. Now, I'm about to go on a bit of a mission myself, actually, because for those of you that don't know, I'm also a drag queen. I know I'm so butch, that's probably a really big surprise to many of you.
Shocking.
Why did you laugh?
Oh, just it's shocking to me. That was a shocked laugh.
So yeah, I'm a drag queen. I am one of the vegan queens. We're also on Facebook and YouTube and everywhere, so please do check us out. And we have a show coming up on February the 9th.
We don't. Just
No,
to clarify
me.
that.
So there's me and Jason, we are those vegan guys. And then there's me and my drag daughter, stroke best pal, Stuart, who are the vegan queens. She's not here, she just, pretend she is. So we've got a show on February the 9th. And of course, I've just had a great Christmas, food-wise. We've eaten quite a lot, haven't we? So I'll be getting on another one of my time to lose weight missions very, very soon. What do I do when I'm doing that? Right, well, I'm going to take you through a very an atypical day of me on watching what I eat and trying to lose some weight. The most difficult thing for me is limiting my bread intake and sometimes abstaining from bread.
Yeah.
That honestly is number one tip. Bread is a bugger, a beautiful bugger. Because I'm a northern lad, you know what I mean? I was born and raised in Oldham, and I was raised on meals based around chips and peas. Fish chips and peas, goblin pudding chips and peas, Finder's pancakes, I'm going back to the 80s here obviously, chips and peas, Sunday dinners, blah 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 blah. And bread was
It's a staple.
it was crucial, it was a 2 slices of bread with your tea.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm still kind of in that habit now, although I've tried to switch to wholemeal breads, seedy breads, because I know that they're better for me. But when I'm watching my weight, I limit myself to 1 slice with my evening meal. Especially if I've had half a bagel in the morning, which we do often, don't we?
Mm-hmm.
So a typical Those Vegan Guys day would be us both having, in the morning, half a red... Well, are them bagels, red onion and chive?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Half a red onion and chive bagel with strawberries and blueberries and a big mug of coffee.
Mm-hmm.
I'm now on sweeteners, and I'm not a big fan of sweeteners because I'm not... aspartame worries me. These ones, Asda's own, ain't so bad, and they actually taste quite good, so I'm on them at the moment. So I would avoid bread. That would be breakfast. Or porridge made with a plant-based milk. You know, microwave porridge, whatever, with my fruit portion in.
Mm-hmm.
Lunchtime, I'll be getting back into the habit soon. What I often do for me and Jason, and it is a bit repetitive, I know, but we both enjoy it, don't we?
Yeah.
I do Jason 6 mini Tesco's own brand sausage rolls,
Lovely.
and I do me 2 Linda McCartney red onion and rosemary sausages, and then a pile of veg, maybe with a bit of couscous. Veg and couscous, both great things for when you're dieting. even though couscous is kind of a starchy food, it's still hardly any fat in it, you know, and very tasty and filling. But it is a carb when else said and done. So my lunch pot would be 2 sausages, broccoli and collie steamed, a couple of tablespoons of couscous. Jason's would be sausage rolls, exactly the same thing. Then, if I'm watching my weight in the evening, maybe something like a vegetable stew, spaghetti and meatballs, which we've already got a video of. You can check that out using Sainsbury's meat-free meatballs, which are actually really good value, $1.50 for 20 in a bag. And 20 for us two is 2 meals because it's like 5 each in it.
And high protein, low fat,
Yeah.
which is pretty consistent across all the kind of meat alternative ranges. Pretty consistently. I think that's the misconception in across all communities when it comes to eating, is that naturally all vegan food is going to be healthy. It's not always the case, but pretty consistently the meat alternatives are higher protein content, lower fat.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. No, that's good.
Yeah.
Don't ever apologise for inserting your wisdom. Do you have any other things to say?
No, not really. We're talking about evening meals. We're kind of taking people through a day. So
Yeah.
that evening meal options is like you said, spaghetti meatballs.
Spaghetti meatballs, maybe a vegetable stew. If I fancied something like, let's say for example, a fries pepper steak style pie, I would have that and just vegetables, like a load of vegetables. I might have carrots, broccoli, cauliflower and some peas.
Or steamed kale with gravy. And like an onion gravy, we've had that. We have that.
Well, we do that when we have the Linda McCartney pie, don't we?
Yeah, but
yeah, have we ever done that with the steak pie with
I don't
kale
know.
and gravy?
It's just that whole thing around, like a lot of people are saying now, you can often make the veg the feature of the dish or the main component of the dish. And depending on what you're doing with your veg, I've actually picked up quite a bit from Paul over the years, although I really don't cook massively. But it's the same with anything, isn't it? It's like I talk to people who I know who are meat eaters, and I always kind of call them out on it and say, well, you don't just stick a piece of meat in the oven or in a pan and then you eat it. What do you do with it?
Spice it.
And there's plenty of meat eaters I know that can't really even differentiate between the different types of animal that they're eating. So that's a whole other story anyway. But yeah, what are you going to do with your veg? Are you going to make it the central ingredient? Are you going to do anything before you roast it or steam it or anything like that? But also, what are you going to do with your gravy? Because that's another thing that Paul's...
Gravy's
pretty awesome.
Like a massive thing, because if you've got a load of steamed veg and it's salt and pepper, you've seasoned it and it's all right, but you sometimes you just want something a bit more flavoursome, don't you? So you make a good gravy. I often chop up a full white onion as thinly as I can. In fact, last time I tried doing it, I was making a veg stew. I was using my mandolin and sliced a bit of my finger off, didn't I?
Yeah, it wasn't good.
I had a plaster on for weeks. But I've used that for 2 years and that's probably the first time I've ever done that.
Yeah.
And it was all because I had a slippy onion. What were annoyed with that onion.
Now worse than a slippy onion.
Now worse than it. So I would thinly slice an onion using personally my mandolin, but you don't have to, of course. And then I would lightly fry that until all the onions went soft. And then I would put a bit of red wine in there and let that kind of slightly go a bit like a syrup, but not. You just keep bringing it down. Then I'd add some water, and then usually Bisto caramelized onion, best gravy powder, which is gorgeous. But there's some fantastic recipes online for mushroom based gravies. We avoid them because although I'm a fan of mushrooms, Jason can't stand them.
Neither the taste nor the texture, particularly.
What did you used to say they were?
I used to say, I hope people understand this, well, if you don't, you don't, but I used to say if snakes had ears, they would be mushrooms. Mushrooms are what snakes' ears would be if snakes had ears. I appreciate that's a bit random, a bit off the wall, but that's just a tiny little insight into my warped sense of humour. Snake's ears. I will eat them on occasion, and lots of people over the years, especially the last 5 years of being vegan, lots of people are like, mushrooms are a staple of the vegan diet, and that may be the case, but not for me. Not for me.
I want to mention as well, again, the because it's still going strong around the internet, this whole Greg's sausage roll thing. So in retrospect, although quite enjoyable, you know, it was £1 and it had a much harder pastry than the ones you get from Pound Bakery, where you get 2 for £1. And if they don't egg wash, ask in your local store, then they're vegan. So, you know, it just kind of shows you, doesn't it, that because it's a big company, how we're all kind of obsessed with names. And Pound Bakery isn't as big a name as Greg's, but Greg's come out with the vegan sausage roll, and everyone suddenly it's world news. Do you know what I mean? And celebrities are having reactions to it, and some nutter is buying one and chucking it in a bin so he can get viral on Facebook.
That's the world we live in.
Could have fed a homeless person, that though.
That's the world we live in.
Could have fed a homeless person. Could have walked up to a homeless person and given it to them.
I know.
You know. So, yeah, and he got his 15 minutes of fame, and good luck to him, because, you know, when I was done, the general public put him there. People forget that, don't they? It takes it. As soon as I saw the news, I was like, I'm not watching your video. I'm not putting your ratings up. So you chucked it in a bin. Good for you, mate. But yeah, let's not forget that Pound Bakery's had them for ages, and they're 2 for £1. Also, and this links in with the following on from our Facebook status this morning about how you can promote veganism without people getting kind of offended.
That's a good one.
With it. Now, if you live near a heron shop, a heron food shop.
I'm glad you added shop.
Yeah. Do you live near a heron? Does it nest? Has it a partner? Oh, sorry. If you live near a heron food shop, they sell Linda McCartney's sausage rolls, box of 6, for £1. Now, I got my mum into these.
She loves them.
To the point where every time I go to Heron for them now, I'll pick her up a couple of boxes, and then I'm like, and she'll, oh, let me give you money for them, you know, like mums do. And I'm like, Joan, it's £2 up, I'd have to call her Joan sometimes. Never wanted my mother to lose her identity and just be mother. I like her to know that I know she's Joan. Deep. It is quite deep, but I think I've always felt it very important.
Yeah.
It's, you know, it's like when your nephews and nieces always call you uncle. I used to say to them, just Paul. Just Paul. I want to be Paul. Anyway, so I get her these vegan sausage rolls and she loves them. So I know that's at least one thing she always has. And you can always do that with your own relatives. You can pick up a couple of boxes of something cheap and say, oh, these were on offer, so I got you one. Try it, see what you think. Because 9 times out of 10, when people try something that tastes just as good as the meat version that they're used to,
as good if not better,
whether they make the change immediately or not, it plants the seed. Just like we were talking about in the last video about meat eaters being angry about the Greg's thing because it's a plausible diversion. It gives them that option. I'm in the supermarket now, I can either choose this, which I know is dead animal, or I can choose this, which my friend bought me and tastes lovely. And so, you know, and also invite people round for a lovely vegan meal. Shock the hell out of them. And if they are meat eaters, rather than doing a, you know, orange, apple, olive and quinoa salad, which sounds horrible actually. Do you know what I mean though? Rather than a completely vegan, completely raw plant-based meal, go for an alternative to a meat meal, like a shepherd's pie.
Yeah. Or
a spaghetti bolognese, or a lasagna made with a soya mince that you've beefed up, and they'll go, oh, that's lovely.
Yeah.
You know,
A stepping stone type of situation.
I mean, we're still in that phase because this is what we're talking about before. We didn't go vegan because we didn't like the tastes of meat products. We still love sausages and chicken and blah, 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 blah. And we found really good vegan versions of all those things so we could continue eating exactly the same meals that we were eating before we went vegan. Now, of course, our food repertoire and our food intake has vastly expanded whilst being vegan, and often we enjoy a completely vegetable-based meal, don't we?
Yeah.
But we do like our meat alternatives, and that's how to get to people. Is not. Because I get really angry sometimes on my Facebook page because I have loads of friends out there who I adore and I love and I know are good human beings who really care about the world. And because I'm here now mentally, it's very difficult for me to fathom why they're not. But you've got to be patient. I have to remember how long it took me. I've only been vegan 5 years. That's not a long time.
Yeah.
You know, and it was a struggle before that. You've got anything to say about being vegan in general?
Well, getting back to the original point of the video today, it's about kind of helping people who are going through Veganuary, thanking people for trying Veganuary, you know, which we did in our last video, and this is kind of part of the reason why we're continuing to make these videos throughout January. So I suppose the thing to mention is probably is to say, give us a shout if you need any support. If there's anything that we've not covered yet in the videos, check out some of our other videos. And let's not forget that it's not just about what you eat, it's also about what you do. And being healthy, both physically and mentally, is a lot about what you put into your body, but it's also about what you do with your body.
Very valid point, Jason.
And that's something that we're both getting back on track with. I think it's fair, it's important, and it's fair to acknowledge that because we've both been a little bit ill over the festive period, our new year is almost kind of starting a week late. So in terms of upping our physical activity levels and getting more physically active, we've both talked about this year being my 40th birthday, Paul's 50th birthday, and us. I had to mention it. We want to be hitting those birthdays as physically and mentally healthy as we possibly can, the best, ideally, the best versions of us that we've ever been. So come along on our journey. As Paul said before, like and subscribe because there'll be loads more videos coming. But for those who are going through Veganuary, any advice, any tips, anything at all you want to know about, give us a shout because we both have quite extensive backgrounds in health. So I wouldn't necessarily say that we're experts in everything. I don't think anybody is.
Although I am a qualified health trainer.
Paul's a qualified health trainer. We both worked for the NHS for years over here in the UK. We know a lot of stuff. But disclaimer, as anything, you know, it's not one size fits all. So it's different for every person. Every person's unique in terms of their requirements.
Yeah.
But like I said, give us a shout. If there's anything at all that we can help you out with, we'll do our very best to. But don't make it too complicated. It's input versus output. So in terms of your health and well-being, take care of your mental health. That's really, really important. Think of it as the same as your physical health. But in terms of calorific intake, you've got to just burn off more than you're putting in if you're looking to manage your weight or lose weight.
That's true. Although you can lose weight just through diet alone. Personally, I wouldn't promote that because the two things do go hand in hand. And Jason's right. It's my birthday in June, by the way, June 17th. I'm 50, so I've not got long.
6 months
to really get myself back into shape. And if we hadn't been under the weather, we would have been back at the gym by now.
Absolutely, we'd have probably been more physically active over the festive period generally anyway, because it's that whole thing around just doing something every day.
But and it doesn't. That's the thing. It doesn't always have to be out.
Mm-hmm.
I've got one of those sit-up things what you lie on the floor with. What are they called even?
It's a
ab curler.
Ab curler.
I think it's called an ab curler. Got one of them upstairs.
Big in the 90s. The ab curlers. I don't think there's many people that have got them anymore now, but
No, and that's the first time I ever got abs.
Yeah.
When we were both at
yeah,
college.
yeah. The whole ab curler thing was all around being able to safely do sit-ups without damaging your neck
Yeah.
or your back.
But they are good.
They're brilliant.
I've also got a belt.
Mm-hmm.
One of those electronic belts, so I tend to use the two combined, because when you get to my age, now 49, this is where it all settles, which is murder for me corset. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
When I'm doing drag, because it's working overtime anyway, trying to hold me in, and I can't breathe, and my ribs are bruised, and my hips are bruised because of bones. So I'm trying to make it easier on myself as well.
Yeah.
But like Jason says, if you have any questions, or any suggestions for things, recipe videos you might like to see veganised, give us a shout and we'll see what we can do. I mean, I'm not going to promise and say, yeah, we'll definitely do it.
Mm-hmm.
But if it's something that, somebody mentioned on our page recently about a good chili recipe, and I thought, do you know what? I haven't made a good chili for a long, long time.
Yeah, it's been a few
And then
years,
somebody else mentioned on it about dark chocolate.
Oh, with chili.
In chili.
Yeah.
So I'm very interested to... What I usually do is I'll research a recipe. I'll find about 5 online, all completely different. And you use your basic common knowledge anyway. Do you know what I mean? It's like, peppers, kidney beans, mince is your standard chili kind of thing, served with rice. So you already know those bits. So you look at all these spices and you're right, I've got that one, I can get that one easily, and you mix and match and you come up with your own recipe, which is what we largely do. Recommendations, by the way, the Vegan Society website has a fantastic range of information and recipes. When we first went vegan, and I used to bake a lot as a vegetarian, didn't I?
Yeah.
Cakes and breads and pies and all sorts. And then, of course, eggs were gone. I was like, well, so the soya milk, what? So I tried all these alternatives, tried doing all this research, and people were like, this seed or mashed banana or blah, all these different... I tried using the same vegetarian recipes, but just using an egg alternative, and none of them ever worked out well, really. Then I went on the Vegan Society website and just used their recipes, which are kind of oil-based, oil and water, rather than eggs. And, I did do some nice cakes, didn't I?
Yeah.
But I have to be careful baking cakes, because then I eat cakes. And then, here we are.
It's kind of an all or nothing thing, isn't it? Because it's like, I've joked in the past and said, well, just make cakes and I'll eat the cakes. But number one, that's just plain cruel, and I openly admit that that's a cruel and selfish thing. And two, it's just not fair on anybody in that situation. Especially if you're the one that's actually made the cake in the first place, to then not be able to partake.
You are handy when I'm trying to lose weight, because often what I used to do, like when we used to have pie and kale, I'd cut off a third of my pie. So you had a pie and a third, and I had 2/3.
And that always works out well.
It does for you, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Because
it works out.
Put weight on.
It works out for us both. No, this is the thing though, and on a serious note, just for a second, just because you look healthy on the outside doesn't necessarily mean you're healthy on the inside. So, keep that in mind, that myself included, I'm very conscious of, and I may not struggle as much as others, and that's genetics and age and all those things. I have fast metabolism, but I'm still conscious of the fact that I'm way, way less healthy than I was just sort of 6 to 12 months ago. So I think everybody deep down, if they just take a minute and they're just mindful in that and kind of listen to their body and how everything works, I think we're all very aware, acutely aware of where we're at with our health. And I talk, we've both said it in the past, we talk all the time about, we've all got the knowledge. We all possess the knowledge. It's about implementation. It's what you do with it.
It's also about small steps. This is one thing that I was taught with my health trainer qualification, to pass on to people in a one-to-one circumstance, which is what we did as health trainers. But passing it on to you as well, start small. So if you know you need to get healthier and you need to lose some weight, and you usually have 3 chocolate biscuits with your coffee at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, make it 2. It's dead simple. Make it 2 biscuits and stick to that for a couple of weeks. Then make it 1. And have that 1 as a real treat so that you really enjoy it. Break it in half, have half, and then wait a short while and then have that. It's all about training yourself to break habits, because it's habits that get us unhealthy. And the comfort trap.
Of course.
So it is just about doing those little things, and if you can do 1 press up because you're not used to doing them, push yourself to 3 next time, then try 5. You know, it's just about,
absolutely,
because small steps make a big difference because they keep coming. Like my first step, and I did this last year before Christmas, was I need to cut sugar out. I was having 4, 5, 6 coffees a day at work and stuff, and always 1 sugar. And I thought, yeah, it's not much when you add it all up, but it's still sugar. It's still a carb. It's still something my body has to burn off before it gets to the fat I need to burn off. That's how you kind of have to imagine your body is like an engine, okay? And before it gets to burning off the fat, it has to burn off what you're feeding it. And if you're feeding it too much, it's always burning off what you're feeding it, so it never gets to the fat. Is that a reasonable analogy?
Absolutely.
What would you say?
Yeah, and one last thing tying in with all of that, because I think this is pretty good advice, and it's pretty straightforward, simple stuff as well. Going back to what you were saying about if you've never done a press up before, do 1 press up, and then next time try 3. Yes, everybody wants results, but we forget sometimes that we're also looking for that feeling of achievement.
Absolutely.
And no matter how small it is, if you set your mind to doing something, you say, no, I've not done a press up ever in my life, or I've not done any press ups for a year or 6 months or whatever, so I'm going to do 1 press up. It's the sense of achievement, it's the follow through, it's the saying that you're going to do something and then you follow through and you do it. So that's a big one as well.
And let's share the fact that right now, because we've not been well enough to go to the gym and to get back into our kind of normal, routine, which we do have to step up, because we've made this pack best bodies by 50 and 40.
Just best us.
Yeah.
Best versions of us this year.
But because we've not been able to do that, what we have said is, right, there's going to be loads of people doing Veganuary, so let's push ourselves to do a video every couple of days at least, even if it's just sitting and talking, because this kind of sitting and talking can reveal a whole wealth of information to newcomers and to established vegans.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And that's what it's all about, isn't it? It's about us all sharing, working together, learning from each other,
sharing, caring, and wearing,
and
daring, of course. Always.
Yeah.
Always daring. Yeah. So that's the key stuff. So good luck to everybody that's taking part in Veganuary.
Yes.
Good luck to everybody who's taking part in Red January, which was not even mentioned, but that's a big movement for getting people physically active every day throughout January. More for your mental health than your physical health, but both, like we talked about before. So good luck to all of those people doing all of those things.
Intrinsically linked.
Intrinsically linked.
You can't separate physical and mental health.
And maybe our next video will be a recipe video. Maybe, who knows? I'm just throwing Paul under the bus there because he's the cook.
What did you
I
say?
said maybe our next video will be a recipe video.
Well, here's the thing. Let us know if there's anything particular that you would like to see a kind of recipe video on, or even just a quick example of. Because I know some of you that are new to Veganuary, that are not established vegans, might not know that a really good bacon alternative is the new Quorn vegan smoked ham slices, which you'll find in the chiller in many supermarkets now. Sainsbury's and Tesco are all, well, our locals anyway.
Mm-hmm.
That lightly fried with some spray oil, which we've just had actually on a wholemeal muffin for our lunch about 45 minutes ago, is bacon. It's very bacony, isn't it? I don't know who came up with that in one of the vegan groups, but somebody just fried it one day, and you know, it turned out fantastic.
Yeah, because it's sold as like a cold sandwich, kind of you know, element.
But it is a really, really nice bacon alternative. Would you be interested in seeing a video on something simple like scrambled tofu, which we have?
Regularly.
Quite regularly these days, don't we?
Breakfast, dinner.
Yeah. Would you like to see a video on my 12 vegetable stew, which is exactly what it says on the tin? It's a 12 vegetable stew made with 12 vegetables, water and 3 stock cubes. And it feeds my mum twice, us twice, and my niece, her husband, and my great nephew once at least. I just do one big pan of it.
And it probably costs what, about £7 total for
Yeah.
all the veg.
Yeah.
Depending on where you go, you could probably get it even cheaper if you were smart, shopped around. But standard supermarkets,
but don't forget, we already have existing. We have pasties, we have shepherd's pie, we have spaghetti and meatballs, puff pastry pizza, brownies, cookies, cauliflower and broccoli soup. That rocket soup we made. That was absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah.
I need to do that again. We've got a beautiful roasted sweet potato and butternut squash soup. We've got loads of recipes. Check out our YouTube other videos, whether they're over there or down there.
Over there.
Or if we're on Facebook, just click on the videos tab on the side and our playlist will come up. Thank you very much for watching yet again. Please let us know what you would like from us, and we'll try our best to satisfy your needs. And we'll see you up to the side. I know it stayed up this time. Do you know why? Because little Isis is upstairs asleep. And if you don't know what we're talking about, check out the last video we made.
Yes.
Because we had a catastrophe. A cat-astrophe. I'm so sorry. What a horrible thing to say at the beginning of a new year. Vile and horrible. So yeah, thank you very much for watching this. We love you.
Love you.
I love you and all. And we shall see you on the next one. Please be excellent to each other. Ta-ta for now.